Yes.
I'm sorry, get it this thing.
Uh, no, you've,
Commissioner Adler,
Here.
Commissioner Diaz is absent, Commissioner Garcia,
Here.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Here.
Commissioner Ortega, here, Commissioner Sandoval,
Here.
Commissioner Romero is absent, Commissioner Searle. So have
seven.
seven commissioners present, right? Can I get a secretary's report, please?
Yes, the meeting packet agenda was posted on Friday, April 4th, 2025.
Moving on to item 5.1, will be the approval of the March 10, 2025 meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve?
Oh, you know what? I did get here from Commissioner Diaz that his name was missing from the attendance, so I need to add it. Yeah. So just make an amendment for that.
Okay, do I need a motion for that?
Well, you can include that in the motion.
Can I get a motion to add Commissioner Diaz's name in roll call and the meeting minutes for March?
So my motion to add Commissioner Diaz's last name to the meeting minutes of March 10th, 2025.
Can I get a second?
I second the motion to approve the minutes for March 10, 2025 and add Commissioner Diaz's name to the. Yes.
All those in favor to add, starting with Commissioner Nguyen.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, and the motion passes with a vote of 7-0. We got item 6. Do we have any introductions here?
No.
Moving on, do we have any public comment on items not on the agenda?
No.
Then moving on to item 8 will be a presentation about the Civic Center Master Plan.
Yes, and Ryan, Public Works is here to present.
Everyone, my name's Ryan. I'm the project manager here for the city. One of the things I'm working on is the Civic Center Master Plan, which I passed around a packet in front of all of you. So we have been hosting a couple of public workshops with our partner ELS. We hosted one last Tuesday in the gym where we went over these three layout options that we are considering for our Civic Center Master Plan. So part of that would be redeveloping the block that City Hall, Wheeler, the annex building, the library, where all of those buildings exist. We want to change all that. We want to kind of bring Gilroy into the 21st and 22nd century. The buildings we have served us well, but as you can tell, they are starting to get dated and a little old. The cost to maintain them and bring them up to our standards is rising fast. So for us, we are wanting to look into what the best plan would be and how to move us from where we are now into the next century. So a couple of the options that we have created are these in front of you. You can take a look at them. Let me know if you have any questions. The main reason I am here, though, is to encourage you guys to go to our website, cityofgilroy.org, where you can view these. You can view the presentation that was given on Tuesday, and you can actually fill out a survey and provide your feedback directly to our architect. Our next meeting is scheduled for May 20th in Wheeler. There's one at 9 a.m. if anybody feels like missing school that day, or one at 6 p.m. if you want to be more responsible and come after school. We'll be presenting what we are expecting to be a final plan that we will put in front of the city council in July or August to have them vote on it and make it be our official master plan. The goal for us is to get this master plan onto the November 2026 ballot so we can vote on a bond that would help pay for us to be able to build all this stuff. So if you want to take a look at it real quick, the things we are wanting to bring to the center. We currently have a city hall, so we would be building a new city hall and new council chambers. The exciting stuff, though, would be we'd be bringing a park to this downtown area. So currently where our annex building is, across the plaza over there, that would become a new park and outdoor green space. The entire area from where we are now through to that park would be converted into a paseo, which is like a lot of trees, shaded, beautiful walkway where you can bring things like food trucks, farmers markets, activities, activations, sort of like that. We would have a multi-generational center, which is what's labeled on here as the Arts and Senior Center. That would be a youth center, a teen center, a senior center. It would have half gymnasium for like indoor pickleball and activities like that. It'd have a bunch of multifunctional rooms where you could host activities, cooking classes, things along those lines. It would also be, every building would be a two-story building. So the other thing we're looking at is a recreation center, which would be a new gym, multifunctional rooms, outdoor walking track on the second level of that. And then we want to bring an aquatic center down here. So nice pool, splash pad type area, youth activation, things along those lines. Are there any questions? I know I just kind of threw a ton at you.
So this group, Ryan, has been, they change this, the makeup of this commission changes every year. There's
Okay.
a few new members that cycle in and cycle out. But the last group really supported and brought a recommendation to council to start making movement towards some sort of youth center of reality.
Oh, great.
This commission has supported that as well. But how can the youth commission, knowing that this is happening and could include a youth and teen center, what would be important for them to know and do in their role as youth commissioners?
Well, the biggest thing is spreading awareness of it. If you're 18 in November of 2026 and can vote, this will be something that you're voting on in midterm elections. So
Your parents vote?
if your parents are voting, talk to them, grandparents, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, anybody. The biggest thing for us is spreading awareness of the project and what the goal of it is. And that's to bring new facilities here for the public. Everything that we are planning to bring would be free of cost to the users. So this isn't like the Morgan Hill CRC where you have to pay a membership to use the gym and use the aquatic center. This would be stuff that operationally we cover, and it's open and available to the public. So this really is a public driven project, and it's something for our community. You see Wheeler was built in the late 40s, mid 40s, and our goal is for whatever we build to be around in 2140, right? We're building this for when you guys have kids, for your kids to use it, for their kids to use it. This is for the next few generations. So for us, it's really about awareness and getting word out about the project and trying to get everyone to be involved and give us your ideas, because now's the time.
When will there be, input or thoughts about what should be included within a youth center or a teen center, like features, amenities?
Yeah, so we're working on the master plan now, which would be the design of the footprint. So at that point is kind of when we need to know what all would be considered to go there. We've heard about what's it called, like makerspace, and we've had feedback of like podcasting rooms and features along those lines that people would use specifically in the teen center. But if we don't know about it in the design phase, we can't build it.
So that's why it's
Plan to happen.
important
So
for
the May 20th,
to attend on May 20th
Right.
to give ideas about what could go there.
so
What
that way we can figure out what fits
would make
within the
you
footprint.
Hey, Ryan, is there anything, other than, what's the difference between each one?
ABC.
Yeah,
A, B, and C. So these are just different layouts. So right now, so the way everything is kind of laid out, it's basically from Dowdy to Church Street, from 6th Street to 7th Street. That is our block that we have to work within. The police station is new, so we're not touching the police station. That's going to stay as is. The library is also relatively new, so we're not going to spend any time or money redesigning it, doing anything to change it. So those two buildings are staying as they are. Everything else is kind of negotiable for us as to where it goes. The thought process right now is we've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years really investing in the downtown area. Gourmet Alley and downtown have received quite a facelift over the last decade. So for us, we want the park to be oriented on that side, so closest to Church Street, to kind of help build a connection between downtown and the Civic Center park, right? Between the Recreation Aquatic Center, City Hall, Arts and Seniors, and all the parking that's required, this has kind of been the footprint that we've landed on, but things change with how that footprint looks. So, for example, C is a rounded park, right? It creates more of an amphitheater style park for us, right? So that would be more conducive to like outdoor concerts, for example. It also creates more concrete, so it also has a building block, like a row, where you have aquatic center, recreation, multi-generational center, and city hall, all on Seventh Street, right? So for us, it's about trying to figure out what the best layout options are, and how to fit those in with all the parking needs as well. So yeah, these are just some of the different layouts. And, on May 20th, when we have our final presentation, I don't think any of these are going to be there. I think it's going to be some kind of combination of, portions of A, portions of B, new idea that we hadn't thought of that somebody gave us, all of that kind of combined together. So feedback for us is super important because, the way we are kind of looking at it is a lot of the people that work here aren't going to be the ones residing and working here in 10 years when all of this is built. So we need to know what the people that are going to be here want it to look like, so that way we can build it out. And it's going to be you guys. Yeah. Big projects, they take a long time.
Is there any questions?
Any questions? Okay. Well, if you think of any, let me know. If you go to our website, citygilroy.org, you can fill out the survey and view the presentation that was given last week. And all my contact information is on there, email, phone. So call me, send me an email if you have any feedback or questions. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 9.1, the new business. We'll be having a treasury report to the commission as of April 2025. Can we get a staff report, please?
Yes, I'm gonna turn it over to Emily.
Okay, fine.
I think that's it.
Listen.
Uh,
Okay, so basically I just put together this budget and it was for all the expenditures we did for the youth commission. So, if you go to the first one, oh, well, the first one is just the t-shirts that we had. And then next was Amazon Thank You Basket. Then it was the HR one, which is like where we printed out the big flag, like the big papers to put on the frames. And then we went to Smart and Final for snacks, Camino Coffee with the gift card, same with Savvy and Fish Street Domino's for lunch for the vendors, and then the donut place for food. So our total ended up being, we used $774, and that has left us with $294.81.
and just as a point of reference, last year, the commission spent $494 on Opportunity Teen Fair. This year, it spent $509. So it seems to be, so about $500. Roughly. Any questions? No? Okay. So hopefully the council will accept your request for funding because you will technically have enough to do Opportunity Teen Fair again based on what your. So we shall find out in June.
Is the commission allowed to apply for grants, like not from the same, like for, not like specifically for nonprofit groups?
It depends. Some funders wouldn't allow it because it's not technically a nonprofit, it's part of the city. Others have been more than willing to fund city-run programs. I'm thinking of like the Rotary Club or the Gilroy Assistance League, GALS. They've done it in the past. That's a good question.
Usually for something specific.
Like an opportunity.
Moving on to item 9.2, will be discussion of the end of year presentation in city council. Can we establish?
Yes. Okay, anyway, so, every year, the commission at the end of the term, chair will deliver a presentation, usually about 5 minutes, using a PowerPoint presentation on what the commission was up to this year, and you go over all of your accomplishments. Obviously, you did the Opportunity Teen Fair. You're going to talk about Tech Week. You're going to talk about Breakfast with Santa. And yeah, and then we were thinking that in addition to having the chair do the presentation, someone from the the legislative issue, which was the Loma Prieta flower, could talk about that for a couple of minutes while handing out their report, which is in this meeting packet. I showed it to you at the very beginning of the year, but do you have any desire to see the presentation that was made last year, just to kind of get a frame of reference?
I should watch.
You want to watch it again? Okay, so if you turn around.
It's easy to it has the ability.
Yeah.
Okay, You're.
Okay, well,
Powerful.
so, all right. See here. Okay, so this is just what it looked like. So what I'll do is I'll meet with the chair, Alfred, and we'll start with, oh, you can see. All right. So this is last year's. This is. All right. This is last year's. There we go. Delay here. Anyways, okay, so this is last year's, again, it covers Santa, Tech Week, which we call Senior Digital Assistants. Last year they went to a youth leadership conference. So you guys are there we go. Okay, so obviously we wouldn't include that this year since there wasn't one. The here, of course, is Opportunity Teen Fair. So this was the prepping. And then, oh, the video. Yeah, my 10. Anyways, if you recall, there was a video made using all of the video footage that we had in the photos, and it just kind of showed the events. I think it was only like 3 or 4 minutes, but it went over really well. So, Alfred, we'll have to work together on that. But this is a good opportunity. If again, there were some items listed about what was going to be covered. If there are additional items that the commission would like to present on. Of course, the big change this year will be the legislative issue. In addition to everything else.
Would that be a separate agenda item or that just a red item?
It would be part of the presentation. So.
But kind of separate from the.
Yeah, so you probably, yeah, so I mean, you would turn it over to the representative of that committee, and then they could present on the Loma Prieta flower. Speaking of which, is there someone from that committee who would like to, I guess we would have two of you here from the committee. Either of you interested in presenting?
And then maybe we should, wait to hear back.
Okay.
Someone else doesn't want to do it, then I'll do it.
Okay,
So if there's not someone who like really wants to, I'm fine doing it.
okay. That sounds good. All right, so I'll reach out and see if there's anyone that has a burning desire. Okay, any other comments?
And that will have some separate PowerPoint slides.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm?
We move on to the business item 10.1. We'll be reviewing the fiscal year 2025 and community plan. Can we get a staff report on that, please?
Yes, sorry that the report's a little bit out of order. So if you go to the middle of your packet, just a summary of any of the updates. So obviously the Opportunity Team Fair went very well. Great job, everyone. We estimated that there were about 200 people who came through the door. We received 80 passports, even though we handed out 144 of them. And of course, we had the raffle, ticket exchange, and oh, you know what? I didn't write down the breakdown for the schools, but we had a significant number of students from Get. Not surprising. CHS, if I recall, I had like 9 or 10, GHS and you. And then there were a lot of people from just different schools, like throughout this area. There were even kids from middle school who were in 8th grade. Surprising. Anyways, do you guys have any feedback? Things that could be that worked really well, maybe things that didn't work well. You guys just want to go around and share your thoughts? Someone want to go first?
I think the advertising was good. Like, I know the majority were DECA students, so maybe next year was we gotta find a way to reach other schools too. Because it'd be nice to see like more students from other schools. Yeah, I think the layout worked great. I think it was good.
Ooh. When did it start at 10 or 10:30?
We started at 10:30.
10:30.
Yeah.
Is it possible that we could do it maybe a little later next year? I'm wondering if a lot of people didn't go because it was like not really early, but relatively early. No,
So start later.
I think maybe like an hour later, something like that.
Anything else?
I really like the raffle. I don't know. I don't know if this was done already, but maybe we could do like where whoever wins the raffle, we could like take a picture of them and sort of use that as like promotion, like to like, maybe advertise for like next year. Like, oh, like there was this at the event next year. There's gonna be opportunity again, and hey, you might win.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
I like the diversity that we had in opportunities. It's like a fair thing of like internships and then jobs. But I think that there were some organizations that didn't show up, like Red Cross. So maybe just like confirming with them to make sure that they're gonna be there. And then I like that we did like the pictures too, because it's just like quality, and we can keep them over the years to show like
Yes.
that we've had it.
Oh, adding on to that, the posters. Could we maybe like inform the library beforehand? Or
Yeah, like give my heads up. Okay. Still said yes.
So, I think a lot of people, I think they wanted like work, uh, like job opportunities. And there's a lot of like voluntary internships which are good. So I think a lot of high schoolers, they're just looking for like, regular- like other than Gilroy Gardens, you can have some work.
I mean, to be fair, there were a few. I know, what's that?
Old Navy.
Old Navy, um, lifeguarding, City of Morgan Hill, City of Gilroy,
Kumar.
Kumon. Thank you.
I think maybe next time we can start looking for vendors like earlier on, and then maybe like instead of just doing it like only the committee looking, like have everyone look, so like you know, like more diverse. Just have more vendors in there.
Or maybe we could put like on the passport or something like vendors you'd want to see. Something along those lines for future opportunities.
I'll get a survey like
Kind of like where they could just write what they want to see. But like specific so that we can actually reach out.
Good, anything else? Gianna, did you take pictures? Or were you there?
I
You
couldn't
actually-
make it.
you couldn't make it, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who took pictures.
It was Maya and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you
I
ever
saw
upload
them.
them? Oh my
I
gosh.
told you that help.
All right, well, we need them now for the.
Oh, yeah, for the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll let Maya know, but yeah, please do that. this week.
I can make the video again if you.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, let me know when you've done that and then I'll send you. Okay, okay, what else? Oh, legislative issue. All right. I just want to preface this before I turn it over to Jacob and Corinne, which is the next page. That this committee spent, I think we calculated 6 months on this. You know, from when they began until just a few weeks ago, they finally finished. So this involved a lot of research, a lot of meetings, and then just a lot of editing. And I think together they came up with a 2-page memo with including citations. So great job to the committee. Hopefully, I don't know if everyone's had a chance to read this, but I want to turn it over to Jacob and Corinne if you want to just kind of maybe summarize it and then maybe get some feedback. Because ultimately, this is what's going to be submitted to the city council.
Yeah, so basically we sort of started off by saying like, we identified this native species in Gilroy, it's gonna go extinct. And so then we move on to like the background a little bit and like where it's found, what it looks like, other names, all along. And then relation to ecosystem, that's when we start to like talk about the importance of the flower itself. So we begin by describing like how we found out about this plant, which is from the Santa Clara Valley Habitat Plan. And then we again state like the sense of urgency that it's gonna become extinct. Then we explain a little bit more on how it could affect the city. Um, so, for example, the flower attracts pollinators, which benefit our local crops such as garlic. And then since agriculture is a big part of our city's economy, it's important to, keep the ecosystem safe. Then we move on to take action. It just gives some ideas from other places, like pre-existing solutions or that are like similar to the situation. So we have like the California top leaf, the free roaming cat management policy, and the Gilead flower in Monterey County. These are all like sort of plans that have been implemented in other local areas that the city could perhaps like take inspiration and implement solutions. And then our final section is what the city of Gilroy can specifically do. So he said like they can educate the public, reach out to like the Gilroy Welcome Centers, Gilroy Gardens, Gilroy outlets to spread information on the project itself. Grow the flower on city properties and beach developments, and then maybe have a fine for removing the plant anywhere within the city.
You pretty much covered most of it. Yeah, so basically, if there's anything else that you feel is missing, please let us know. But this is pretty much close to the version we're gonna be presenting at the end of the year meeting.
Good to get some pictures of this flower actually in Gilroy. It's where can you go in Gilroy and actually see this flower?
So they cited at Mount Madonna
Mhm.
and Lions Creek. It's two places, yeah.
That's it. You know, pictures tell 1,000 words, so I think sometimes that's a good thing to have in that PowerPoint slide, is those photos.
Gee, was anyone able to do that? Cause I know we were planning on like, taking our own pictures at one point. I think that's kind of why we got the image off the internet because no one got the photo.
I don't know, but you know what? We have some time. And let's go find it. Let's go take some pictures of it.
If it's anywhere, you know, not like remotely, but more in a area, you know, near homes or parks, that would be, I think, helpful for council to see. Because if we're gonna try to encourage council to, you know, grow the flower on city properties and make it an item that's in the list for developments to plant, then it would be good for that to be seen. Just hear examples of that existing.
Anything else? Well, again, kudos to 2 of the 5 members who are here.
Moving on to item 11, staff and commissioner comments. Item 11.1, graduating seniors with terms ending in 2026.
Yeah, believe it or not, we only have one more meeting after this. And then you are done. And then maybe we'll start the interview process soon, or the application process, and then the interviews, and then the appointments. So if you recall in the beginning of the year, you approved the bylaws, the changes to the bylaws. One of the changes was that if you're graduating and your term doesn't end until the following year, for example, Alfred's term ends this year, and he's graduating, so you know, that's pretty much, you know, a non-starter that he's not likely going
It
to.
lines up.
It lines up.
Lines
Thank you.
nicely.
Whereas, Corinne, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but Corinne is graduating, however, her term doesn't end until 2026. So, we had some seniors last year, whose term didn't end until this year, but they had already graduated, they had already gone off to college, and we needed them to let us know in writing that they were not planning to continue to stay on the youth commission, since they are graduating high school. So anyway, so I wanted to, Sophia's not here, but Corinne, we could talk afterwards and just kind of tell you the process for doing that. Okay?
If someone's graduating, but staying in the local vicinity and still residing in Gilroy, they can continue to serve out their term.
That is correct,
Okay,
yes. But,
so it depends on the person's situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that is my comment. Oh, the other comment too, and I didn't write this down, but so May 5th is the presentation to city council. So I'll send you reminders, okay? But it'd be great if everyone could be there to show support, you can wear your t-shirt. But like I said, it'd be nice if everyone's gonna be there. And then, Alfred will talk afterwards, and then we'll find out who from the legislative committee will also, do the presentation.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions, comments?
How many people in total will be leaving the end of this?
That is a very good question. 8. And when I say 8, that I'm assuming that Corinne and Sophia, who are both seniors, are moving on. So. Because again, their terms technically don't end until next year. But we have a lot of seats who are up, and then we've got 2 seniors. So normally we would have 6, but with the 2 seniors, it's 8.
So, but the 6 could really,
Unless they've already served. So Alfred's actually served 2 terms, so he can't really, he's been here for a while. But Baru,
but he's a senior anyway,
And he's
so
a
he's one of the 2. 6,
oh, there's a,
can
Yeah.
all of the 6 reapply for another term? if they want to?
well, Maya's a senior, so she wouldn't.
Okay.
Baruch could, because he's only had, this will be his first term and it ends this year.
Yeah, and then December.
Oh, December?
Yeah.
Oh. You sure?
Well, that's when I applied, so.
No, but but the term ends. Your term is actually gonna end, I think, in September, because you're from the previous cohort, but in any event, there's a few. That could reapply, that would be eligible for Gianna.
If I'm still here in September, does that mean I reapply and join back in the October meeting?
So what you would do, good question, is you will reapply this spring. You will be notified, hey, your term is up. If you want to reapply, this is the time to do it. And then you will go through that process, fill out the application, do an interview. If you get appointed, then that will take effect, this time it'll take effect July 1. It will just be a seamless process. So,
Okay.
yeah, you don't have to wait until October. It'll just be, you'll just start in August when we start that.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Anything else? And I encourage everyone to just spread the word. I mean, we usually get a pretty good number of applicants. It would be nice to have a more equitable, like, representation for the schools. So we get good diverse opinions about, should be working on things like that, what issues are important. So. Anything else? No.
That's the whole thing. I will adjourn this meeting at 6:43 p.m.
All right, thanks everyone. Thank you for